Opposition parties in the Western Cape have expressed outrage at the intention of the Premier of the Western Cape, Winde, to appoint former Minister of Transport in the Western Cape, Bonginkosi Madikizela, as his special advisor. Madikizela resigned after he was found to have misrepresented his academic qualifications. Winde announced his intention to appoint Madikizela following the retirement of Donald Grant in November last year, who had served as an advisor.
The former member of the provincial government is set to make his return to government as a special advisor to Premier Winde. This has been met with criticism by the province's official opposition parties. The Good Party and the ANC allege the DA exposed Madikizela as having lied about his qualification in a bid to oust him as a mayoral candidate for the city of Cape Town at that time. Good Party has described the announcement as a disgraceful example of cadre deployment.
What is clearly a disgraceful example of jobs for pals, or what the DA often calls cadre deployment. And so this exposes the Premier's so-called government of integrity that he promised at the beginning of his term as office as a complete sham. The Premier himself suspended Madikizela from the position as MEC when it emerged that he had misrepresented his qualifications, and the findings by the Public Protector have never been dealt with because Madikizela resigned as an MEC and a member of the Provincial Parliament before they could be dealt with.
The ANC in the Western Cape has also condemned the intention of the appointment.
It is the same Winde that removed Madikizela as an MEC. He was removed as a leader of the DA in the Western Cape, and yet all of a sudden he's good enough to advise the Premier or be an advisor for the Premier. What is it that is going to advise the Premier? Because the Premier himself is on record saying that the guy falsified his qualification.
Winde says he intends to hire Madikizela because he owned up and he paid his dues.
It is my intention to appoint Bongi Madikizela in my office. He owned up. He took responsibility. I think taking responsibility right now is a big question for South Africa. How many people stand up and take responsibility when things go wrong? But he owned up, he took responsibility, he fell on his sword. He lost his position as a minister. And he lost his salary for 10 months. I think he has more than paid his dues, or more than paid the price.
Opposition parties say Madikizela is unfit to hold the position and have called on the National Department of Public Administration to ratify the appointment. Thule Joga, SABC News, Cape Town.